Welcome to Hilary Emmanuel Ministries, where faith meets power, purity and prosperity, and breakthroughs are born. At Diadem, we equip you with bold prayers, life-transforming teachings, and spiritual strategies to overcome every challenge life throws your way. Join us as we dive into God's Word, experience His presence like never before, and walk in His purpose for our lives. If you're in London, we invite you to fellowship with us in person at Diadem, 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. Don't forget to subscribe now and let's grow in faith together.
Exodus 23 verse 20, it says, "Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thy enemies and an adversary unto thy adversaries." You see, this is what the enemies don't understand. This is what the wicked don't understand. That the moment we are in good terms with our God, the moment we are in good relationship with our God, all our enemy becomes God's enemy. All our adversaries become God's adversaries. And look at what God says He's going to do to them. He said, "The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken into pieces." He said, "Out of heaven will it thunder upon them." Verse 23, "For my angel shall go before thee and bring thee in unto the Amorites." So that's what is going to happen here tonight. The angels of God are going to be involved in this battle to cut off all of them that hate us. He said to bring it to the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. Thou shalt not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do after their work. You know, this is part of the thing that caused the hatred, because you are not bowing down to their gods. You are not worshiping what they are worshiping. That's part of what is causing the hatred. "But thou shalt utterly overthrow them and quite break down their images." Verse 25. "And ye shall serve the Lord your God, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of thee. There shall nothing cast their young, nor be barren in thy land. The number of thy days I will fulfill. I will send my fear before thee, and I will destroy all the people to whom thou shalt come, and I will make all thy enemies turn their back unto thee. And I will send hornets before thee, which shall drive out the Hivites and the Canaanites and the Hittites from before thee." So you now see the different kinds of weapons the Lord has devised here against the wicked. The weapons of hornets, the weapons of angel, the different weapon of thunder, and all kinds of weapons to desolate them and to wipe them out. Look at 1 Kings 21. 1 Kings 21. I'm showing you examples now of people that made themselves enemies and adversaries of the righteous, and for you to see what God did to them. People that enemies and adversaries of the righteous. Remember what we are talking about? They that hate the righteous. 1 Kings 21, look at verse 17. "And the word of the Lord came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, Arise, go down to meet Ahab, king of Israel, which is in Samaria. Behold, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, whither he is gone down to possess it." Do you see that? Ahab used his power as the king to kill Naboth and collect his vineyard. And he went into the vineyard to inspect it, to take over. And the word of the Lord say, "Elijah, go and meet him there in that vineyard." So Elijah went there, verse 19. "And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus saith the Lord." Brethren, this is how we are going to pray tonight. You are going to speak the word of the Lord. Say, "Thus saith the Lord, hast thou killed and also taken possession? And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus saith the Lord, in the place where dogs lick the blood of Naboth, shall dogs lick thy blood, even thine. And Ahab said to Elijah, look at now when Elijah got there. Ahab said to Elijah, hast thou found me, O my enemy? Do you see his own confession by himself? He declared himself enemy of Elijah, enemy of the righteous. And the Bible said that they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. He has used his own mouth now to activate his own desolation by declaring himself the enemy of the righteous of God, the righteous child of God. Now look at what follows. And he answered, I have found thee, because thou hast sold thyself to walk evil in the sight of the Lord. Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, and I will take away thy posterity, and I will cut off from Ahab him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel. Do you see desolation? And it was just by pronouncement. Elijah was pronouncing desolation upon Ahab and upon his house. Brethren, that's what you are going to do here today. You are just going to prophesy. You are going to speak it. You are going to pronounce it. Total desolation upon all of them that have declared themselves your enemy. All of them that hate you. So he began to prophesy all this is upon him. Verse 22. And I will make thy house like the house of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha the son of Ahijah. For the provocation wherewith thou hast provoked me to anger, and made Israel to sin. Verse 23. And as of Jezebel also spake the Lord, saying, the dogs shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel. Him that dieth of Ahab in the city, the dog shall eat, and him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of the Lord, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up. So Jezebel stirred him, his wife stirred him, and he sold himself to do wickedness, and hated God and hated the people of God. He hated Jehovah God, the God of Israel, and hated also the prophets of God. They killed a lot of prophets. They killed so many prophets of God during their time because of the hatred. Now, do you see what he pronounced? This man and his wife, Ahab, they forced Elijah to terminate his ministry. They forced Elijah to terminate his ministry. They frustrated Elijah. They made him to give up. That's the level of their hatred for God and the people of God. And that's not the only one. But one thing is that, do you know those things Elijah prophesied and pronounced upon him, they all came to pass. They all came to pass. That's not the only one. Look at this. 1 Kings 22. 1 Kings 22. Look at verse 2. This is another prophet again. Because that was his behavior. To hate Jehovah God of Israel, and to hate the righteous, and to hate the prophets of God. And it came to pass in the 3rd year that Jehoshaphat the king of Judah came down to the king of Israel. And the king of Israel said unto his servants, know ye that Ramoth-Gilead is ours, and we be still, and take it not out of the hand of the king of Syria? And he said unto Jehoshaphat, wilt thou go with me to battle to Ramoth-Gilead? And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, I am as thou art, my people are as thy people, my horses as thy horses. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, inquire, I pray thee, at the word of the Lord today. Not knowing that he doesn't like God. He's making friend with the enemy of God. He said, let's find out from God, this war you are talking about, can we find anything to know what God will say? Verse 6. Then the king of Israel gathered the prophets together. Of course, he had his own prophets. He quickly gathered his own prophets together, about 400 men, just to convince Jehoshaphat. Where 400 people are prophesying, do you know what that means? It's to convince him. About 400 men, and said unto them, shall I go against Ramoth-Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And they said, go up, for the Lord shall deliver it to the hand of the king. Verse 7. And Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a proper prophet, a good prophet? Because he has seen that all these ones are not just fake prophets. He says, is there not here a prophet of the Lord? I'm not talking of prophets of Baal. Prophets of the Lord. Besides that we might inquire of him. Is there no proper prophet here? And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, there is yet one man, Micaiah, the son of Imlah, by whom we may inquire of the Lord. But, I hate the same language he told Elijah, my enemy. This one now, I hate him. Yeah, do you see how he's using his own mouth to activate desolation upon himself? Because they that hate the righteous shall be desolate. He said, I hate him. For he doth not prophesy good concerning me, but evil. And Jehoshaphat said, let not the king say so. Then the king of Israel called for an officer and said, hasten hither Micaiah the son of Imlah. And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat the king of Judah sat each on his throne, having put on their robes in a void place in the entrance of the gate of Samaria. And all the prophets prophesied before them. And Zedekiah the son of Chenaanah made him horns of iron. And he said, thus said the Lord, with this shalt thou push the Syrians until you have consumed them. And all the prophets prophesied, so saying, go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it to the king's hand. And the messenger that was gone to call Micaiah spake unto him, saying, behold now, the words of the prophet declare good unto the king with one mouth. Let thy word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak that which is good. And Micaiah said, as the Lord liveth, what the Lord said unto me, that will I speak. So he came to the king, and the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear? And he answered him, go and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver into the hand of the king. And the king said unto him, how many times shall I adjure thee that thou tell me nothing but that which is true in the name of the Lord? So he wants to hear the truth. Verse 17, and he said, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills, as sheep that have not a shepherd. And the Lord said, these have no master. Let them return every man to his house in peace. And the king of Israel said to Joshua, did I not tell you that he will prophesy no good concerning me but evil? And he said, hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord, and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord has put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord has spoken evil concerning thee. But Zedekiah, the son of Chenaanah, went near and smote Micaiah on the cheek. He slapped him and said, which way went the spirit of the Lord from me to speak unto thee? And Micaiah said, behold, thou shalt see in that day. Do you know that this Zedekiah also has put himself among those who hate the righteous? So he has also activated his own desolation. Look at what Micaiah told him. He said, thou shalt see in that day when thou shalt go into an inner chamber to hide thyself. The day the battle is going to happen, you are going to be hiding. Verse 26. And the king of Israel said, take Micaiah and carry him back unto Ammon the governor of the city, and to Joash the son of the king's son, and say, thus said the king, put this fellow in the prison, and feed him with bread of affliction and with water of affliction, until I come in peace. Brethren, that is the problem I have. Where you see hatred, it feed the righteous with the bread of affliction and the water of affliction. That's why the place we read earlier in the psalm says that many are the afflictions of the righteous. Many. Many of those afflictions, brethren, they are coming out of hatred. They are being sponsored by hatred. People that hate you for being righteous. People that hate you because of your prayers. People that hate you because of your confession about Jesus. And they are sponsoring all kinds of affliction and problems and troubles. So do you see here? He specifically says, feed him with the bread of affliction and water of affliction until I come in peace. Verse 28. And Micaiah said, if thou return at all in peace, the Lord has not spoken by me. So this one now. This is where I want us to operate tonight. By the spirit of prophecy. Everything you shall speak shall be established. Do you see how the prophets were speaking? Do you see how Micaiah spoke? He said, if you ever come back again, this is where he sealed his faith. This is where he concluded, he closed this chapter by the word of prophecy. The desolation of Ahab was still hanging over him. Now this one did not even give him room to come back. This one said, you are not coming back from that war. He sealed it up. He said, if you ever come back again, then the Lord has not spoken by me. And he said, hearken, O people, every one of you. Verse 20. So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself and enter into the battle, but put on thy robes. Do you see? He doesn't want to be killed. And the king of Israel disguised himself and went into the battle. But the king of Syria, take note of this, verse 31, very important. The king of Syria commanded his 32 captains that had rule over his chariot, saying, fight neither with small nor great. I don't want you to kill one person in that war. We are not going there to fight war to kill anybody. Save the only person I want you to kill for me is the king of Israel. Have you ever seen that kind of war before? He said, don't ever.
Thank you for watching. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to join our growing community of faith. You've just listened to the sermon, but there are powerful prayers that follow. Due to social media rules and guidelines, the prayers have been removed from this video. However, you can access the full prayers and more life-changing resources by visiting www.pastorhillary.org or downloading our app, Diadem Media. If you're in the London area, we'd love to have you fellowship with us in person at 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. If you have any questions about this message, want counseling from Pastor Hillary, or wish to share your testimonies following the prayers, please leave a comment below and someone from our team will get in touch. Until next time, may God bless you abundantly and guide you in all your ways. Stay victorious.